Hello, this is Ernest. Thank you for joining me. I want to tell you about a journey that I've been on. And if you'll stay with me through this as I explain this journey, I think you'll be fascinated and amazed by what God has shown me. So let's begin. I began this journey back in the summer, not knowing why or where the journey would take me. And it all started with a question placed on my heart by God. What time is it on the Bible timeline? I don't mean what time is it on the clock, but God's time. Example, knowing we're in the church age. Are we in the last days, the very last days, or on the threshold of a new era? It has been an amazing journey. At times I have been humbled, at times saying, how can this be? And at other times saying, why me, O Lord? I don't have answers to all of my questions, but I know with 100% certainty, God is sovereign. As I explain this journey, you will have the opportunity to believe and appreciate the power that God has over all of the events of this world. So jump on and let's go. You might be saying, what is the sovereignty of God? Well, from the Bible in 1 Chronicles 29:11, we can read, Yours, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the victory and the majesty. Indeed, everything that is in the heavens and the earth. Yours is the dominion, O Lord, and you exalt yourself as head over all. That is very clear. It is his dominion, and he is the head over all. In 1918, 100 years ago, Arthur W. Pink defined the sovereignty of God this way. We mean the supremacy of God, the kingship of God, the Godhead of God. To say that God is sovereign is to declare that God is God. To say that God is sovereign is to declare that he is the Most High, doing according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, so that none can stay his hand or say unto him, what have you done? To say that God is sovereign is to declare that he is the Almighty, the possessor of all power in heaven and earth, so that none can defeat his counsel, foil his purpose, or resist his will. To say that God is sovereign is to declare that he is the governor among the nations, setting up kingdoms, overthrowing empires, and determining the course of dynasties as it pleases him best. To say that God is sovereign is to declare that he is the only potentate, the King of kings and the Lord of lords. Such is the God of the Bible. I can't top that, and no one else has been able to top it in the last 100 years. The sovereignty of God is clearly shown throughout the Bible. If you read the Bible with a heart of belief, you will see and experience his sovereignty from creation through the establishment of the church and into the current times. Using the Bible as my reference and authority, I was able to complete the timeline from creation to current times. You may say, how could I do that? My answer to you is study the Bible, verse by verse, and with that goal in mind, and you'll realize just how great is our God and his word, the Bible. The work of the timeline was the foundation for this journey, because without the timeline, I would have not arrived at where I am today. Throughout this journey, I will reference the timeline. Before going to bed on the night of September the 5th, 2018, I was reading from Matthew 24, 1 through 14. Jesus came out from the temple and was going away when his disciples came up to point out the temple buildings to him. And he said to them, Do you not see all these things? Truly I say to you, not one stone here will be left upon another, which will not be thrown down. As he was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? And Jesus answered and said to them, See to it that no one misleads you. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will mislead many. You will be hearing of wars and rumors of war. See to that you are not frightened, For those things may take place, but that is not yet the end. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and in various places there will be famines and earthquakes. But all these things are merely the beginning of the birth pains. Then they will deliver you to tribulation and will kill you, and you will be hated by all nations because of my name. At that time many will fall away and will betray one another and hate one another. Many false prophets will arise and will mislead many. Because lawlessness is increased, most people's love will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all of the nations, and then the end will come. I remember reading verse 14 and thinking, how will we ever know when Jesus is coming? Because there's just no way to know when the gospel of the kingdom has been preached in the whole world. So I closed the Bible, got ready, and went to bed. Tomorrow we'll continue the journey, and I'd like to leave you by saying, now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with you all. Thank you, and hope you join us again tomorrow.